Episode 5 of Connections in the Chaos. Curious About You, Part 2. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Sara. Self for others.
Well, it's reciprocal. When
Yeah.
I have service for others, it's also for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe resting as a goal.
Perhaps. It's like a minor. I
Yeah.
had a major in service and a minor in resting.
Oh my God, I couldn't love you more if I tried. Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
Sweet.
Course correct. Anything you want to readdress from last week or correct or say more about?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the question that you asked me in the thread about something small I have done that has made a big impact. And I certainly don't question the thing that I said. It's very true that I feel like every day as an educator and as a person who works with humans, I show up in what seem like small ways and support the people that I'm around. And the way that I said this, so there's a student who was struggling with their pronouns, and I used the term to describe myself as a guiding force. And those words are all wrong, in my opinion. So, when a student comes to me, and it happens all the time for one reason or another, right? As educators, I think what we provide and what I try to provide is like a judgment-free listening space where people can show up safely and authentically as themselves. And I think educators and education in general is getting a bad rap these days for trying to teach children to be something they're not. And that is not what's happening. We are just allowing people to show up as themselves and create a safe place for that authenticity. And I always like to say, if I could teach your child to be something they're not, if I could be a guiding force to change their mind potentially, then test scores would never be a problem. So I just wanted to say that in that moment, my word choice was a little off. And what I aim to do and be is a safe, authentic space for people to just show up as they are.
I think you are.
Oh, thanks.
I don't see it at school, but I have a hard time believing otherwise.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. How about for you?
Mine are, I thought we had the sound figured out. We did not have the sound figured out, so I need to correct that. It's irritating. We now have new gear, and if you can see these monstrous unicorns, I was going to say, microphones.
Unicorns,
hopefully
microphones.
they're working properly. We got a little interface thing happening too, and we're crossing our fingers until we actually hear it. So that was one. Another thing is I don't like how I said I mean and about 900,000 times. I'd like to
hear that.
Try to do better on that. And there was one section where I repeated the word friends like 4 times, and I think it was in the editing problem, but also didn't like that. And I mentioned that coaching classes were inconvenient, and they weren't not always inconvenient. For a short time, they felt that way. And that is all I think I have.
I must say, give yourself some grace.
Okay. That's for later.
We are on speedy, zoom this time.
Well, I could say one more thing. I don't know that this is the right, it's not really a course correct, but you mentioned last week about the situation you could say nothing, and your mentor said you could say nothing. And when I re-listened to it, I thought about someone had said that to me like long ago when I was maybe in high school or middle school, and that when you, and this is my experience as well, when you say nothing or you're quieter, it makes people wonder. And
the mystique.
Fallon experienced that at an event earlier this week. Somebody had sort of given her a hard time, and then she didn't say much this most recent time.
Yeah.
And it was obvious that person was definitely wondering, like, what was up.
Yeah. I think when you start to learn that saying nothing gives you more power,
Yeah.
it's a little addictive. Like, yeah, good for her. I'm proud of her. That's
Thanks. I was
fantastic.
really proud of her too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really all on my list.
Okay. Fantastic. Any shout outs?
To the people continuing to listen, especially after
Mhm.
the sound situations.
Yeah.
And I think that's all. I didn't have anything written this week. So,
Yeah, I didn't either.
oh, I did think of one to Kathy Lemire,
Oh,
the
yes.
financial coach.
Yep.
That's her name. She was tagged in the show notes, but we had a really great conversation about entrepreneurship, the coaching business, and setting that up
Nice.
financially. So that I feel really excited for that too.
Yeah, I actually just thought of one, if I can
Yeah,
ad lib as
please.
well. So last Friday, I ended up going on a school field trip to Boston for the day, and it was the very last place I wanted to be. Not because I don't love the kids and the idea and all the adults that I'd be with. I just have so much to finish up before this transition happens. And I felt like I don't have 12 to 14 hours where I'm not plucking away at that. And to whatever force of nature brought me to that trip and made it so that I must go, and to all of the children who were amazing and the adults who were incredible. It was a blast. And it sort of forced me to be where my feet are, which is one of my mottos I try to live by. And so it was some joy that was needed. So thank you to all the people and the force of nature that put me on that trip.
Love that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, chaos report. So, where has curiosity shown up this over the past 2 weeks in your recent chaos?
So I think I tried to lean in to, so the last time we talked, I was in a cranky place and a frustrated place and a sad place. And I tried to really lean into curiosity. There's no time to stop, right? There's no time to really pause for too long, either to wallow or to spend huge chunks of time being curious. So it happens kind of on the fly. And I tried to remember to lean into that over the last week. And this past week felt much better. Even though I was still carrying some of that sadness and frustration, I was able to remind myself that I had been curious about the people who were feeling frustrated with me. I was able to remain curious about my role in it and the moving on, right? And like I could sit here and feel those feels, or I can be curious about what's next and how to use what I've learned to start creating some systems and things that will help with the future instead of continuing to go back to that. Let's just call it the past, right? And that's a little bit where my word integrity comes from. So trying to be true to myself, be true to the work that I'm doing, and see every one of the wins for what it is.
Could you do both? Have your feels and move on?
Yeah, and I think that I have. And that I think that's part of too, like there's not a lot of time. And so feels and curiosity on the fly are an interesting soup to live in. But yeah, I think I do. I think I have. If you to know me is to know I am a deep feeler, and so there's no escaping that. And curiosity just sort of brings it to a reasonable space, I guess.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Doesn't let me
You
get
don't look
it,
convinced by that.
no, I am. It doesn't. Curiosity makes it so that the emotions don't get too overwhelming.
Okay.
And I think I've said that before. It's really the key to, if I can be curious about my role or what's frustrating or where the feeling is coming from, then I feel empowered to do something about it. And I most certainly have still had the feels. And I've added some others to the mix that are more empowering for me as well. So, and all of that comes from curiosity.
Yay, curiosity.
Yeah. How about for you? What's your chaos report?
I am very curious about how adolescent boys use language to speak to each other in their friendships. I don't understand it at all, and I don't understand how it's okay, what I hear. It's just so much noise, so much noise.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to stay curious about that. The other thing I was not feeling curious about over the at least 1 week was my children fighting,
Mm.
and that's way too much noise for my nervous
Mhm.
system. And without losing my mind,
Mhm.
uh, or, feeling massively frustrated, it's hard to feel curious about why they're fighting when I just want to freak out or
Yeah.
crash out, as they say,
Yep.
and tell them to stop screaming while I yell. But
Mhm.
I listened to a podcast where the person said they want their kids to think for themselves
Mhm.
while they're fighting.
Mm.
And so without interjecting too much, they talk about the fight as a fire. And then he will say to his children, gasoline or water? What do you want to put on this fire? So I have been saying that. It doesn't always work because sometimes Keegan says gasoline,
Gasoline.
and that's not what I want him to say. But a little bit it's helping. It's bringing in awareness, I
Mhm.
think, to the situation instead of complete reaction.
How did you introduce the idea of the fire to them?
I said, I
Did you
heard
just
this on a
Yeah.
podcast. It sounds like a great idea. It will help me now crash out,
Yeah.
and it will hopefully help you pause,
Mhm.
bring in awareness to, and not only is it maybe you want to pour gasoline on your sister's fire, but how
Yeah.
about your mother's fire?
Mm.
Probably not. So that's why I say, think about the fire as my fire,
Mhm.
not your fire.
I really needed that about 3 hours ago. Can you please share with me that podcast?
I will try to remember. Yes,
Okay.
it's one of two, but yes,
Okay.
I definitely will. It was
So
either Excellence Actually or The Wolf You Feed, or the one I told you about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you figure that out, let me know.
Okay. I will. Same if you figure anything out.
Because I think I was pouring gasoline on my own fire today.
That's my go-to usually.
All right. The thread. So
Wait,
oh,
yeah, sorry. I was thinking song lyrics were before the thread.
no, they're right after. Isn't that kind of weird? We could always change it because it is our podcast. But
Hmm.
um last week or last week, we had asked listeners to send us some questions, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
To our new email address because we're cool enough to have one. Um and we were going to go through some of their questions.
Let's do it.
All right.
So
Sweet.
we chose 10. I can get over there.
And thank you for sending questions. How exciting.
Sorry, pause. I'll move you over here. Thanks for your questions.
Jessica's teaching me how to use more than one screen at a time, and it blows my mind every time. She just like threw the questions across the table to a different screen.
And there's also an error that's what our pause was for. Visual effects unavailable. It's
Oh,
causing too much strain on your computer hardware. Your video will continue to display without the effects that I'm not even sure what they are.
I
So if
can't
you
wait
see
to
any
find
effects,
out.
please let us know.
Maybe it's our cool new sign.
Oh, yes. Shout out.
Fancy. To Jessica.
That's right. My mom got me mine.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
Just every other
Sure.
answer together where we see fit.
Yeah. And if there is something like you want to pause on or
Yeah, because I'm not
pass,
ready. Yeah.
yeah, we can table it for next time.
All right, listeners. So the first thing you'd love to know is how the two of us stay honest with each other when one of us is clearly struggling, but insisting we're fine.
Do you want to answer first or do you want me to?
Go ahead.
How do we stay honest with each other? I think that's just it, is
Mhm.
we just do. And if I think you're struggling, I don't think you would tell me you're fine.
No, I don't think I would.
And if I
And vice
felt
versa.
like you were not being honest, I would ask you.
Yep.
But I don't think
Nope.
that's a problem at all or a situation, or we've never had that.
Yeah. And I was just thinking exactly that. We've never had that. And I think because somehow in the beginning of this friendship, we just committed to honesty,
And
right?
it was in like the dirtiest, worst time of or
Life.
the world
Yeah.
at the time.
Yep.
It wasn't just our crazy, chaotic lives.
Well, and isn't it true that COVID sort of forced us to either choose honesty or dishonesty
Yeah.
in some pretty intense ways as humans?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Like, I didn't go out of the state for my daughter's birthday to see my husband who was living out of state. No, that wasn't me.
Or take my kid trick-or-treating in New Hampshire.
Blasphemy. Right? But yeah, so it was, I don't know. And then I think I remember reflecting on some friendships that I've had where honesty wasn't. I thought it was a cornerstone and then realized after the fact in hindsight, actually, no. There were things that I didn't feel I could be honest about. And so when I think about how much I care for you, like honesty just has to be the thing.
I agree. And I even, over the last 2 weeks, experienced, I wouldn't say that I was dishonest, because now this is it, that like people don't like it, or you don't have to be around me.
Right.
But I have noticed people being very different in certain settings about that same situation. And I was actually telling Jay that, like, I felt like I was in a Twilight Zone a little bit. Like, is this real life?
And why is it so hard to be honest?
I don't know. I mean, I think maybe for me, when I felt like I had to do that, I was insecure and I wanted to be liked, maybe. I don't know. And now not that I don't want to be liked, but
no,
I'm
but
okay if I'm not someone's cup of tea.
Right. And also, I think when you realize that honesty can be shared and you can still be respectful of yourself and others, then there's really no other option. I also think I know that you expect it from me. And that seems so silly, like when you hear it out loud, but I think that's important, right? Like everyone say, oh, I appreciate honesty in a friendship, but I can think of times where I've been like, oh, hey, so this happened when the kids were over, or you've said the same to me. And that's just the expectation.
Yeah.
And it's like feels good that stuff doesn't linger.
Yeah.
So I know that like that's your expectation for me, and it's also my expectation for myself in this friendship.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if this resonates with you, but it's my expectation for myself in general.
Always. Yeah, for sure.
But yes, definitely. It's funny you say that because I never considered it. It's just like being reliable. Like it's just a given.
Yep. Absolutely.
Great question.
I know. Thanks.
Okay. Has the podcast changed how you show up in your real lives, or does it ever feel like you're performing a version of yourselves you haven't fully become yet?
That's a chunky question.
That is. I'm still thinking about it.
I have a thought.
Please share, because I am still processing the question.
Yeah. I think that the podcast is not a place for performing, like we said when we started. And so I think it's actually quite the opposite, that we already live the lives we're living and the podcast is just capturing it.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that a theme or a thread that you've heard us talk about is I think, have been drawn together because we're trying to become the best version of ourselves. And because that's how we're living, that just shows up in the podcast.
Yes, I agree 1,000,000%.
And we talked like this before the podcast.
Yes. And that's how we kept saying, we should start a podcast.
Yes.
Has the podcast changed how you show up? So I would say no. And well, mostly no, because I have been more mindful, I think, when we're chatting about sharing someone else's story or asking permission if I could say someone's name, something like that. So I think maybe a little bit, but for the most part, no, exactly like you said.
I think similarly, and just, I don't think it has necessarily changed the way I'm showing up, although I guess maybe somebody could argue that it has. I'm taking note of things
Oh,
more,
yes,
right?
definitely.
So
I
like,
mean, we're
ooh,
required to.
yes, we are required to. Even if we do it right before we start recording. The mental note happens all the time. It's like, oh yeah, we had talked about curiosity. And I think I am being curious. That's not something I'm putting on just for the podcast because it's something I'm trying anyway. But then I'm like, ooh, note that. I want to talk about that next time.
Yes,
So
yes.
that maybe is a slight difference. But otherwise,
This
what you
is
see
it.
is what you get, whether you like it or not.
Also a great question. Okay.
Oh, what's a connection you've let drift that you still think about? I'm assuming that means with a person?
I
Friendship?
would think so too. And define
Hmm.
drift. This is a little
Mm,
tricky for me. There are a
yeah.
lot that maybe someone may say define as drift, but I don't think that. I
Yeah.
think there are a lot of people that I think about often.
Hmm.
I need to reach out. I need to reach
Yep.
out, and I haven't.
I would agree with that. And I think something that's really on my mind right now, and some of my friends at work and I have talked about it, that not that I'm ignoring the transition that's coming up, but in some ways I think I am pretending it's happening much later than it is because it's going to mean I'm not with these same people every day. And we've all had experiences where when you're not in the same soup every day, it's harder to stay connected and to know what's going on with each other. And
Proximity.
yeah, exactly. And so there's lots of people in my career that have been in that place, and I just keep trying to reconnect. And so trying to think of ways to not let those connections drift too much.
It's hard, I
Mm-hmm.
think, for me, because with even if I was to look at my phone and my text messages, there's so many and
Mm-hmm.
so many emails. It's so much easier to have a big network
Yeah.
that, at least when I was growing up, I mean, you had speed dial and there were
Yeah.
like 10 people that
Right.
were like, you could even fit on there. I
Yep.
don't know. I mean, we didn't even have call waiting, so I'm sure there was
Yeah.
technology that I did not know about, but
Yeah.
it was the people that were in close proximity to you in
Yep.
your town or your
Yep.
school or whatever, your team.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons I resist getting rid of social media, because there are people that maybe it's a false sense of connection sometimes, but then I'm like, oh, hey, look at what they're doing. Right.
I mean, I don't have it, so
Yeah.
I definitely think it's uh I have felt forgotten
Yeah.
because people don't see my face on there or whatever. And that's okay. I mean, I totally get it.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's just a work in progress, right? Trying to stay connected.
Me? My
Yeah.
rating? Okay. Do you ever disagree about something significant? And if so, how do you navigate that without it affecting your friendship?
Are pickles significant?
Depends on who you ask, probably.
I'm asking you.
Not for me.
Okay.
I would say then are olives.
Yeah. Nope.
No. Um, do you want to answer? I mean,
I mean, I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything either. And I think the things that we have disagreed on that are not food items, if it's important to us, we just listen to each other,
Hmm.
and it's okay for you to think what you want and I
Yeah.
can think what I want. We don't have to agree.
Right.
I'm
I
sure
think
there are things that we disagree on.
there must be.
I'm sure there are. We'll have to
And if not,
loop back to
yeah,
this.
we'll come across one and we'll let you know how
Yeah.
it went.
Yeah. But I think we just
Yeah.
respect each other.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
it's pretty simple,
Yeah.
really.
And the honesty piece,
Yeah.
right? Comes
Yeah.
back to that. Oh, this is a fun one. Number 5, lucky number 5. What's the chaos you don't talk about on the podcast?
A lot. I mean, we have limited
So,
time here.
so much. And we want you to listen. So I don't know.
I think it's hard to keep track
Yeah.
of, now we're going biweekly or right?
Sure.
Biweekly,
Yep.
every other week. So keeping track of all the things that happen in
Yeah.
that amount of time. I think the things that I don't talk about are short fuses, I would say, where I
Me
have,
too.
unless it has like an impact, but oftentimes I have situations like the other night, I felt very irritated and it lingered a day or two.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't serve a purpose.
No. Nope. I would agree with short fuses. I may or may not have cried all the way over here and taken the long way based on a short fuse situation. I think, my hope is that it is very clear that we're not showing up to this podcast as people who think we're perfect and have it all figured out. I think that's like, we say it just about every time, but the chaos is real. And I think some of it just is our own chaos. It's not like there's a privacy factor too.
For sure.
Like, we want people to listen. We want you to feel connected to, like, see yourself in our body of work, if you will. But some things are just personal and private.
Yes, for sure.
Right.
Definitely.
But yes, I would say short fuses is probably the easiest one to talk about.
Okay. Excuse me. How do you know when you need a coach versus a friend or versus just time?
I don't know. Do you have thoughts about that?
I do. I think my tendency, and probably it is my tendency because it's how I've been most successful in navigating things, is just time first. And then I think that's always, or, more often than not, my go-to is time for reflection. And then coach or friend or friend.
This is reminding me of an episode that we recorded about how do you handle change. And yours was time and like quiet space, and mine is a friend. And so I'd probably go friend, time for reflection. Okay, now coach me, right? Like I have to, and it's the feelings piece, like getting it sort of under wraps before I can be curious and process. So yeah, friend, time, coach, that's me.
That's funny because for me, the curious piece is the time, the reflection.
Yep.
Then it's as if I organize my thoughts, then bring it to you.
Yep.
Or, wherever.
Yeah. And I need to unload it. And then I can be curious, just like last week. And then like, okay, talk me through it. Yeah. Oh, this one says, Sara, what do you wish more parents understood about what their kids actually need at school? And Jessica, what do you wish more people understood about what coaching actually is? Oh, I would say the first thing I wish more parents understood, and I do think many do. It can be hard to remember in times of challenge, but that the school, staff, and parents, guardians are all seeking the same goal. We all want what's best for your kiddos. Also, just showing up is where it's at. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know how to teach your children to read. You don't have to be a math whiz. You don't even have to have liked school or felt successful at school to have a huge positive impact on your child's learning. You just got to show up. That's it.
That's interesting. I mean, I think you have to, that seems like the answer to so many things.
It really is. It really is. You've seen all those. Well, you might, maybe not because you're not on social media, but like the videos of the kiddo's face standing up at the concert when their family member shows up, or they're at an event at school and they're looking and looking and looking for their person to show up in the crowd, and then they show up. It brings me to tears every freaking time.
No, I haven't seen those.
My God.
And I don't want to now.
Yeah, maybe you don't.
Yeah, that's hard for me because I am there. And especially in situations like that, also have an emergency plan so my kids know exactly where to find me.
Yeah, I love that. Well, yeah, show up. Just show up. And I think if you are a person who shows up, maybe provide a little challenge to show up for all sorts of things, not just sports or not just the concert or not just like show up when there's academic things on the line, show up when things are hard, show up for
all the
something.
time.
Yeah, just all the time. And yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to be okay. What about you? Coaching?
Coaching, I'm still, kind of figuring that out for myself. I would say to summarize, it is you as the client coming up with your own path. It's not advice.
Yeah.
So that I think is really important. But where I would tend to go to is what I would like people to understand about research administration. Is contrary to what some people, maybe some faculty, I think they understand the importance, but there's so much infrastructure behind research.
Yep.
It wouldn't work. Research wouldn't work without the administration and compliance of all of those things, or there would be a lot of people in really big trouble, I think.
Yeah. And a lot of things not getting done, like a lot of research not occurring.
Well, in the last 2 years, there have been tons of crazy changes to research, and our friends at the NIH, they're like so many people were let go, and now there are so many staffing shortages that things are so much slower and not really working well.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
And a little bit frightening.
Yes. Yeah, very.
Science is real, everybody.
Support it.
Yep.
Am I reading this? Did you?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm reading this one. What is something you've said on the podcast that you immediately regretted or second guessed?
Thank goodness for the course correct.
Yes.
Because I think that helps us to address it in the moment or in the moment-ish. And I really think it wasn't a regret as much as it was, let me make sure that's clear. And I think it was the one that I just said today. Because that's a hot button issue right now. And a lot of educators are getting some flack for quote unquote teaching children to be things that they are not. That's not what we do.
Yeah, that's hard. I understand it. I believe that's just, I can't get there.
Fair. But yeah, that's really it. What about you? Anything you regret or wish you didn't say?
I don't think so because of the course correct. I'm sure if we didn't have that, I'd have a whole long list of things, but nothing comes to mind that I haven't already addressed.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. How do you handle it when life gets so chaotic that your friendship has to go on the back burner for a while? And I think this must mean hockey/basketball season. Because that is crazy. I think we start a podcast. That's what we do. We start a podcast so we can talk to each other.
Yeah, I think we also did the connections, like the New York Times connections. We started doing that as like a quick daily check-in, and then I have completely failed. Now I kind of don't like it anymore.
I know it's a little.
I feel
like
mad at it.
Yeah, I feel mad at it because I don't do well.
Yeah, and when I've started doing it again, I'm like, this is why. This is not why because it really was just that things were so crazy. But I think we find ways to have it not feel like it's back burner-ish. And I think we also recognize we live chaotic lives. And if we haven't talked in a few days, it doesn't mean we're not thinking about the other person.
Right.
And then it probably just ends up with like a text that's, the whole screen long.
Yes. Or 2 texts that are twice that size. Yeah. Yeah. And I also think trying to, when it feels like it's been a long time, I think both of us are really good about like, okay, and when is the next time we're going to see each other?
Yeah.
So that we can look forward to planning that.
And also when it feels like it's a long time is 5 minutes after we haven't seen each other. So that, being
so imagine when it's
realistic.
A week or 2. Ugh.
And sometimes, although you have that time off from work, summer can be hard too.
Yes.
Even though that's like kind of a sports-free time, but it's
there's
just
also camps and different family things, and we're going in different directions. So,
and the other thing I think we do very well is we make time for each other. It's
Mhm.
like we're both tired.
Yeah.
We both
Exhausted.
are not working probably or doing
Yeah.
something
Yep.
else. Speaking of working, and this is a side note, the girls were playing today,
Mhm.
and Jay came in, and I said, "Shh, listen, they're playing moms."
Oh
And
my
you know how
God.
I knew? I need my computer so I can get some work done.
Wait, was that you or me?
I don't, it was Isla, so it could have been either one of us,
Yeah,
though,
it
because
really
she
could have.
comes over when I say that too.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, how funny. Playing moms. Well, at least I get it.
On that side note, do you remember that a couple of years ago they were playing moms and they had a little
Oh.
argument about who was going to pick the kids up because they both had to go to a meeting?
I do not remember that. That's hilarious.
It was when they were dressing up as like Travis
Oh,
and Taylor.
yes, yes. I loved when I think that might have been the same time, and they were like, you asked them, what would you do if you were here by yourselves? And they're like,
I don't remember.
we would take your credit card and we would order 15 pizzas, and then we would do the Home Alone thing when the pizza delivery person came. And then we would just live off of pizza as long as it took for anyone to come back and realize we were alone or something ridiculous like that.
Oh,
Those kids.
kids.
Crazy. All right, we're already at question 10.
We're at question 10.
What does it say?
Is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. What question are you both secretly hoping nobody asks you?
Oh.
Oh,
I don't know.
me either.
I don't know if I'll know until they ask it.
Yeah, right?
And then I will say, I respectfully decline to answer
I
that
plead
question.
the fifth.
Yes. I don't know.
I can't think of anything right
Yeah.
now. I'll think about it.
Yeah. I suppose I could as well. Can't think of anything.
Okay. We'll table 10 and come back when
I also suppose, I guess, like, it matters who's asking
true.
a little bit. So I don't know. That feels wide open. But thank you for that question. We'll ponder.
Thank you for all the questions.
I know.
And we are on to the favorite
Song
lyrics
lyric
of the week.
Oh, did you see I wrote a whole page of one? It's one song lyric.
Oh,
I'm not going to
goodness.
read the whole thing.
No, I didn't see that.
I can't. I just love the whole thing though, but I won't. Just go listen to the song.
I have 3.
Look at you.
I think I forgot about these because I was like, I can't wait to see the look on your face.
Ooh. All right, then you need to go first.
All 3?
However you want to.
Okay, first one likely will not surprise you. I had this the other week and I didn't use it. Am I still on? Okay. Isn't it amazing what you can accomplish when the little sensation gets in your way? No ambition whispering over your shoulder. Oh, isn't it amazing what you can accomplish? The Fireworks by the Tragically Hip. Also, some of those words in like that, no ambition whispering over your shoulder. I think I sang different words to it.
I definitely did. And I wish I could remember what they are right now.
Now that you know. Okay, so the next one, I have a little disclaimer, which I listened to a podcast about disclaimer, where it was like, you're about to say something rude, but
yeah, when you have to give no offense, but
yes, exactly. So I disagree with a lot of things in this song, but these parts of the lyrics. Okay. Turn the quiet up, turn the noise down. Let this whole world just spin around. I want to feel it swing, want to feel it sway, and put some feel good in my soul. And it's Smoke a Little Smoke by Eric Church.
Yep.
And actually, I went back to look at, because there are some other lyrics that I was like, ooh, but then when I read it, I was like, oh, that's not what I'm singing. And nope, definitely don't want that.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Yes. The last one is, I had trouble picking out which lyrics in this one too. Well, I know what's right. I got just one life in a world that keeps on pushing me around, but I'll stand my ground and I won't back down. Won't Back Down by Tom Petty.
Nice.
And I was like, whoa, those were all wildly all over the place.
Well, and I was just going to ask you, is there a curiosity thread in there? Or are they just how you're feeling in the moment?
I think they're mostly how I feel in the moment, and each one of them has a very
Mhm.
Jessica-esque, like,
Yeah.
that chip on my shoulder of, like, the ambition
Yep.
that we've talked about, um, feel good in my soul,
Yeah.
like yeah,
Well, and I can
and
hear that
turn the
song.
noise down,
Mhm.
obviously,
Mhm.
and then the not backing down on what's right. I
Yeah.
mean
Yep. Okay, cool. I dig it. So my song lyric this week, I
just
didn't
one?
yes. Yes. Um, if I read the whole thing, it would be longer than what you just read, so I won't.
You can.
Well, we'll see. I might read some chunks of it, but um I didn't have one chosen until I came here while you were working on the sound system bit. And as I said, I came here very tearfully on my way after, a little toe to toe with my girl. And so I actually went to a playlist that her and I share to pick a song. And I don't know if any of you have listened to Tennille Townes yet, but she is incredible. She's got a really powerful and quirky voice that we absolutely love. And she's sort of an up and comer. And so Isla and I would text her because you could do this thing where you texted her and then she would text back, but I don't think it was really her. Like, it's probably a PR person or something. But every time I would get a text, she'd be like, Mom, is that from Tennille Townes?
Oh.
And sometimes it was. It was super fun. Anyway, so this song is called Girl Who Didn't Care. And it says, saw a little dreamer, yellow rubber boots. You can't fake a smile like that. She hasn't learned how to. Um, that line like shakes me to my core when I think about people pleasing and when my daughter won't brush her hair and just like, I don't know, just not giving a damn about what everybody else thinks, which is definitely where I've been in the last couple of weeks, where I have been giving a lot of care to that. This other part, I want to worry a little less, love a little more, barefoot in a dress, dancing on the floor, making up the songs playing in my head, didn't matter what anybody said. Giant dreams and wild hair. Um, yeah, I know she's still in there somewhere.
Oh, I love that.
Right? It's a really great jam. I recommend listening to it. And that's for my Isla girl.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Lyrics, look at us.
Yeah.
I really liked yours. They were very good.
Thank you.
All right. So that brings us to tool and takeaway. So, with the thread of curiosity, maybe once this week, before you react to a situation, a feeling, a person, pause and ask yourself, what is this bringing up in me and why? Don't fix it. Just get curious. And the takeaway for that is that being self-curious, being self-aware is really the thing that it's the foundation, and it keeps you from projecting, assuming, and reacting on autopilot. There's always a question in there that will get you deeper into the meat of what's going on. It'll help you understand other people, and it will help you to connect. And so work on the question, work on the curiosity.
Love that. So maybe pick one relationship where you have a reoccurring friction point,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of analyzing the person, get curious about your own pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And you could maybe ask yourself, what do you often do? Is there a pattern there? Is there a pattern on how you feel? And if there are, what do those tell you?
Mm-hmm. Curiosity, so good.
I also have a challenge, which
Ooh.
I would love to think I can do it too, but
I bet you can.
notice how many, if there was a way we could have like a little experiment of how many people, or if we choose, say, 10 people in the beginning of the week, and then the next time we cast, how many of those 10 people asked us questions when you talk to
Ooh,
them?
without telling them.
Right. Well, yeah. So if anyone's listening, we can't pick them.
I love a great experiment. Well, maybe they don't need to know that they're one of our people.
Right.
Because we're not going to be like, oh, you asked a question. Thank you for adding a tally to my list. They're not going to know. I think that's a great idea.
Because I have spoken to a lot of people, or I've noticed a lot more how little questions I get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. Although I think I do get a lot of questions as well. I wonder if I could determine how genuine they are and like if they're true curiosity or if they're like, hey, solve my problem.
Say more.
So I think I often get a lot of questions because people are just looking for a fix or a solution.
Like, what type of question would that be?
Um, I'm trying to frame it without throwing anybody under the bus. I think it's also my role, right? Where I'm the leader. And I think, and it could be because I poised myself in this position without intending to, but it's like, hey, this thing is going on. How can you fix this, Sara? Right? So it's like, it's typically like a fixer question when really my response should be, great question. Where does the solution lie in you? Right? Or
What do you think?
us. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
You know, and I work with some of the best, so I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's something to get curious about on my behalf. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. 10 people.
Or more,
Curiosity.
or
Yeah.
if there's a number, we can hash out the
Yeah.
details, but
I feel like 10
just
would be a lot
curious.
for me.
Yeah, or
But
even
maybe
if it
not.
was just, I don't know, people you pass by.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people making eye contact is sometimes challenging, or
Sure
using
is.
manners.
Yeah. Yep. I know a 5-year-old that could work on that.
Well, I meant like adults,
I
like,
know.
hey, I just opened the door for you. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a great challenge.
I just realized that the pickles are over there.
Oh, no.
So we've learned that we have to be very careful about movement in the camper with this new system. And the
Do you think I
pickles
can reach the pickles?
are unreachable. Well, we're about to find out, I guess.
I'll try because we
Can you
can
see them?
always. Nope. Are they in the box? They're not on the table. They're right there.
Oh,
Still don't think I can reach
I
them.
can reach them. You say more while I'm
Okay.
reaching.
It's positive pickle time.
Sing a jingle.
Oh, well, and I want to remember what the jingle was the first time I said it, so I got to go back and listen to that
You
episode.
just said
It's
positive
a
pickle, but you
positive
sang it.
pickle.
Got
Look
the
at that.
pickles.
Got the pickles. All right, we got to write down our numbers, our pickle numbers. I think we can agree that we like positive pickles. Even though, gosh, these pickles are so cute. If you haven't gotten yourself a jar of these pickles, I recommend it.
There are a lot of other ones. I don't know if you've looked, but I have a list, or I haven't. The next one that I want to get.
Hmm.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I have positive pickle number 54. And it says, every challenge I face is an opportunity to grow and become stronger, wiser, and more capable.
Ooh, I love it.
I know. Me too.
I have positive pickle number 18. I have time each day to acknowledge and appreciate the beauty and abundance around me.
Sure. Let me know when you figure out when that time is. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I do. Thanks,
Of course.
positive pickles.
It's so great.
Pick one and I'll make your day extraordinary. They're cute.
They really are. They have the cutest little faces. And they don't even taste like weird things because you don't eat them.
I'm surprised they're not like scratch and sniff.
Oh, okay.
I would have made them that way.
I mean, that would have been fine.
So we want to invite people to still send us any questions or comments to connectionsinthechaos@gmail.com. And we'll leave you with the most important person you can get curious about is
yourself.
Yes.
We'll see you next week.
Connections in the Chaos.
Out.
Positive pickles. Thank you.